So really quick, I want to break down sebum. I know I've done it in a video already, but I feel like it needs to happen again, because across social media, every time you look up, there's a new celebrity, a new somebody creating a oil or a butter that is supposed to give you slip. It's supposed to kill the bacteria on your scalp. It's supposed to make your hair shiny. It's supposed to do away with the frizz. It's supposed to help you to maintain your moisture and hydration within your hair. Well, what if I told you that there is not one thing on this earth that does that better than the natural sebum that is coming out of your scalp? I have a video on it already, but let's do it again. Number one is going to be triglycerides and fatty acids. The triglycerides and fatty acids that live inside of sebum make it something that is so pivotal for your hair health and your length retention. One of the key roles of the fatty acids that are within your sebum are meant to keep all of the different forms of yeast and bacteria at bay. It has a lower pH, so it makes it so different forms of bacteria and things from the environment are just not able to grow and overpopulate and colonize on the scalp. These different organisms that the natural sebum that is in your scalp fights off are the things that end up messing with the pigment of your skin, the pigment of your scalp. It slows down the hair growth cycle and so many other things. You adding oils and butters to your scalp are actually changing the environment and making your scalp more susceptible, right? It is making it easier for you to get different scalp and follicle infections. It's not making it easier for your hair to stay healthier. You know how everybody wants to know about moisture retention and all of these things, like how do I retain moisture? Well, guess what? If you stop greasing your scalp and if you stop putting all these oils and butters on your scalp, you'll allow the natural sebum to come out. And natural sebum contains wax esters, and wax esters are the thing that God naturally implemented and built into your body so you can retain the hydration that you get from the environment. Remember, you get the hydration from the environment. It comes in the water, in the air, and through what you drink, and you're able to hold on to that moisture through your sebum that is coming out of your scalp, you guys. If you manage it properly, it is not a problem. It does everything it is supposed to do. But if you let it grow out of hand uncontrollably, what ends up happening is your scalp stays too moisturized. It stays too wet. There's a really waxy substance on the scalp. Will make a really favorable environment for the yeast and the bacteria. The wax esters that come out of the follicle, they end up building up. When you guys say like, oh, when I wash my hair, like, what is this white cast? The white cast isn't just dead skin, but it is dead skin. It's not just sweat, but it is sweat. It is also wax esters, squalene, and so many other things that we're naming right now. So many different things come out of the follicle, and you do not need to add anything additional to the follicle when you have all of these things coming out, and we still not done. Number 3 is squalene. Now squalene, that it lives in your body's natural sebum, right? Squalene is amazing. It is the thing that is keeping the bacteria and things off of the scalp. Squalene has antioxidant properties, and these antioxidant properties protect the skin from oxidative stress and oxidative damage. Keeping a clean scalp in a healthy scalp environment, it'll help to balance the good and bad bacteria. But again, if you're constantly adding oils and butters to the scalp, if you're constantly greasing the scalp, you make the squalene's job virtually impossible, because instead of it just naturally managing what's already there, it has to now stop your natural sebum has to also make it through all of the grease, the oils and butters that you put on your scalp, and then on top of that, it has to help the rest of your body to kill the overproduction that you're now going to have because you keep feeding all of the different forms of yeast and bacteria with oil. So your body's working against you. That's why you're constantly running into hair growth walls. That's why you constantly have scalp inflammation, because your body already has everything that it needs, and instead of you letting your body do its job, you add coconut oil and almond oil and monostat and rice water and apple cider vinegar. Like, oh my God, why don't you just wash your hair and let your body do what God made it to do? Now, cholesterol that lives within the natural sebum that is coming out of your scalp. It helps to maintain the integrity and the fluidity of the cell membrane. It's literally there to make sure that your skin cell turnover cycle works like it's supposed to, and make sure that you're not getting scalp inflammation. It's making sure that everything is working how it's supposed to. That is what the cholesterol that is naturally in your sebum is doing. But because it does strengthen, right? Because it does strengthen and power up the cell membrane of your natural hair as well as yeast or different forms of bacteria, what you'll end up doing is making the yeast stronger than the things that are really there to help you fight off different forms of yeast and bacteria. So you end up hurting more than you're helping, because again, the sebum, it feeds and it helps all of the natural forms of bacteria and yeast that are on the scalp. So again, I know I keep saying it, but sebum has everything that you need. And I don't care what anybody says, the more oils and butters and grease and creams and the more things you add to your hair, the more you're damaging the follicle. It's just as simple as that. And across the board, when you cut down the amount of products that you're using and you cleanse and detox the scalp, you do not have any of those issues. So check this video here so you can learn more about how to detox the scalp. Some of my favorite products to like detox the scalp, and in this video I teach you one of my favorite products to kill the overproduction or to manage the overproduction of Demodex parasites within the human scalp. Check that out. But real quick, stick around while we talk about our sponsors, Simple Apothecary. We have two powerhouses for you that will help you to control the natural microbiome of the natural bacteria and yeast, the whole city that lives on your scalp, and it will help you to calm, manage, and prevent inflammation. So if you want to know, keep watching. So now we are going to hop right into the shampooing process. This is always my favorite part of the salon appointment as a cosmetologist. Even though I'm retired, it's the most important part. This is where I control all of the yeast on the scalp. This is where I control all of the bacteria on the scalp, and this is where I stop the overpopulation of yeast, right? What you're seeing on the screen is how yeast looks on the scalp whenever it is allowed to colonize, because it's not properly removed from the scalp with shampoo, right? But in this case, she's getting color removed from her hair. So her hair has already been shampooed a couple of times, and now I'm going through making sure the rest of the color is removed. So if you guys want a shampoo that doesn't have anything to do with color, let me know, right? I want you to do me a favor and read this on the screen. Before I started this challenge, I used to air dry my hair or half diffuse, half air dry. I used the lock method sometimes when I thought my hair was dry. I would work out and never reset the bonds. My hair was always knotted, dry, brittle, simply hard to manage and breaking. After discovering sin and joining the 7-day challenge, I started to set my bonds properly, comb/brush my hair, not using oils on my scalp, and keeping my hair stretched. Always resetting the bonds after exercise, not refreshing or applying more products during the week. After applying the 7-day challenge methods and 2 good trims, my hair is shinier, softer, and doesn't knot, and it's just completely transformed. I've never felt sebum on my scalp as much as I feel it now. It almost feels like a serum once you distribute it all over with scientific brushing. I couldn't believe I didn't need extra products to make my hair look moisturized or hydrated. I am beyond pleased with this new pattern of treating my hair and excited to continue. So the main reason that I wanted you guys to see that is because when I'm making videos here on my channel, I'm not just just randomly saying things to say it. I have receipts. I could put my money where my mouth is, right? But I taught you about these Demodex mites, and in the hair salon, the way that we do hair, the way that we shampoo, no, we're not necessarily explaining it to you every single time we do it. Just like when you go into the doctor's office and they take your blood, they're not explaining to you exactly how to insert the needle into the vein, and they're not breaking it down to you step by step. You're just going in trusting them that they're educated enough to do their job, right? So again, by the time you guys are watching this, I've already shampooed her hair a bunch of times. You're watching probably like the last 3 shampoos, but whenever I am in the hair salon, my shampooing process takes me about 25 minutes. That may seem long for some people, but 25 minutes is the time frame that I normally spend on my shampoo, which is another reason why I never tolerated people being late. You know, if you are 15 minutes late, that's cutting into a 25-minute shampoo, and it's going to throw everything off, because I still need those 25 minutes because I have to remove all of these Demodex mites. I've known about this since cosmetology school, and all cosmetologists know about them. They just forget, because you learn it at the very, very beginning, and once you get out and you're focused on building a clientele and stuff, you're just not remembering like you're supposed to. But we're removing them. That is what we're shampooing for, and it's not just to remove these mites. You have so many different forms of yeast and bacteria that make the human scalp your home, and the shampooing process is the state where you control it, when you remove them. And it's not just in the salon, this is at home, right? You don't need all of these hacks and all of these products. All you need is a shampoo, a conditioner, a leave-in conditioner, a styling aid, and for me that's going to be either your heat protectant, or if you're straightening your hair, or you'll need a foam wrap if you're doing like a flexi rod set or a perm rod set or something like that. But even with the wash and goes, people say, oh, it's supposed to be wash and set because you're supposed to dry it. My love, even if you dry your hair in its natural state, if your natural state cannot be combed by just picking up a comb or a brush without adding any extra product, that is not the way that you should wear your hair. You need to set it in a way that allows you to comb it when it dries. Any hairstyle that you get where your hair is free flowing and out and you are not able to comb it, it is not a style for you. And I know you guys don't want to hear this, but you just wetting your hair and setting it under the dryer is still not it. You get a roller set where you set the bond in a new form. When you just let your hair sit on your head, you're not setting it in a new form. And I know we like to make it a racial thing, but there's no race of woman on the earth that just washes her hair and walks outside. Even a woman with naturally straight hair, if they just wet their hair and walk outside, they're gonna look crazy. By the end of the day, their hair will be all frizzy and frazzled and all over their head. And it's not just in the black salon that we tell you not to do it. Other cosmetologists of all races tell their clients, like, you know, if you want to do the whole wash and set thing, let that be something you do maybe like twice a week or once a month or something like that, but not on a daily basis, right? So again, she got a color job, so that's why we're using OLAPLEX 2, and I think I have her color job still live on my channel. If I do, I'll leave it linked in the description box below. But you can clearly see here, you guys, I am breaking up her roots. I'm not rubbing the product into her scalp, even though it may look that way. I'm breaking up her roots, and I'm making sure that this product is in her hair, but I'm getting it in there very lightly, right? The shampooing process and the conditioning process is the most important part of your salon appointment. If you go to anybody who does not shampoo and condition, that is somebody who is only there to give you a cute style. They are not pressed or educated, or it's just not their priority. I'm not saying anything bad about them, but they're not somebody who is really focus forward on scalp health or anything like that. So these are things that you need to look out for, because all cosmetologists do not put oils, greases, and butters on the scalp, right? All cosmetologists do not allow you to come with your hair already clean. So if you are looking for a certain type of professional, there are certain things that you should be looking for and certain red flags that you should see. Not that you shouldn't go to somebody who tells you that you got to come with your hair washed, but just know who you're going to. You're going to somebody who is there just to style your hair, just to make it look cute. They're not necessarily worried about the environment of your scalp and things of that nature. Because for me, even for me and for my own clients and for the safety of my clients, I don't allow people to sit in my chair and they've already washed their own hair. Because, for example, as I'm washing her hair, the different particles that you guys have seen pop up on the screen, right? When you are in the hair salon, all of the different forms of yeast, bacteria, all of the Demodex mites, all of them, they touch our hands directly, and they touch our combs and brushes directly. That's why in the hair salon you see a barbicide jar. Why? Because barbicide can kill like really, really strong and powerful viruses. I don't know how true this is, but I remember when I was in school, they used to tell us that barbicide kills HIV. Obviously, not you drinking it in the body. I just mean like when it's on like surfaces and stuff like that. Like if you had a client that had that and didn't tell you, you sanitize every comb. As soon as a client leaves, you drop that comb, that brush in your barbicide jar after you rinse it off and sanitize it, right? So these are things that I really want y'all to think about. So for that reason, I never allow people to come sit in my chair and they wash their own hair at home, because there's no way for me to guarantee that you removed enough of these Demodex mites yourself at home. There's no way for me to know 1000% of whether or not your scalp is free from enough yeast and bacteria. There's literally no way for me to know. And for that reason, nobody comes to my shop if they have washed their own hair. I didn't use combs and brushes that was disposable that I could throw away. So for that reason, I didn't want anybody's excessive yeast or bacteria on any of my combs and brushes. That's why I made sure I was the one responsible for cleansing and all of that, right? So I really, really hope that makes sense. One of the main reasons that everybody is like so confused about hair care and what to do and what not to do is because instead of us just following the science of hair, every time you get up, like a month doesn't go by before you have a new celebrity with a new hair product, and every hair product they have to find some cute little marketing gig, and the marketing gig normally includes you putting puddles and puddles and puddles of their products on your hair. And now you guys think that you need to have 10 different products just for the hair care regimen, just for you to wear your hair like how it is when you wake up. Understand that it is not like a sign of black pride to wear your hair the way that it looks when you wake up, because no one's telling you that you don't love yourself if you don't do that, because no race, nobody does that. Nobody just gets up and walks outside, because if you do, there's other things that you have to deal with, like the difference in positive and negative electrons, right? You get frizzy hair. This is why somebody with naturally straight hair, they'll have a whole lot of positive and negative electrons and it'll make their hair all super frizzy. So they make sure that when they wash their hair in the morning, like most of them washing their hair every day, they washing their hair in the morning, blow drying their hair with a leave-in conditioner every morning, and putting a little drop of serum on there to control those negative and positive electrons causing the frizz, right? But nobody just walks outside without doing anything to their hair. So if we can completely lose that, and if we can get some routines that keep our hair healthy, keep our hair stretched in a way way where it's not breaking and snapping, causing all of this mechanical damage, then you're good. Because at the end of the day, a hair care routine shouldn't take you from, on wash day, you should not be in your hair any longer than 2 hours when you start. The people in my 7-day challenge, they are getting down to like 45 minutes. 45 minutes on wash day, from shampooing to blowout. What from shampoo blowout to style. Like, it's not that complicated. It's really not. I'm telling you, cosmetologists, we don't have super duper superpowers allowing us to do 13, 14 people in one day. The reason that I'm able to do, well, I'm retired now, but the reason I was able to do 13 or 14 people in a day is because it's very simplistic. Hair is very, very simplistic. When you follow simple steps, your hair will thrive. The natural flora that is on your scalp will be able to thrive. It won't overpopulate. You won't have scalp infections. Your natural sebum will flow out like it is supposed to, and it will not over colonize. You will not have seborrheic dermatitis or dandruff. Keep it simple. Keep products off the scalp. Nothing goes on the scalp but shampoo, no matter what anybody says. All right, use all of y'all favorite celebrities' favorite hair products. Do it, but just know somebody told you. All right, and I'm telling you in love. All right, bye girl.